call to order. Sarah.
Here.
John.
Here.
Mike.
Present.
Doug is excused. He's out cuddle bug. He's sick. And Rick may show up later. So. Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 3, the consent agenda. Any changes?
No, I'll just make note, there's another letter from the auctioneer in there, reference the Fred's Auto, same deal as last time. This is for September 24th.
Yep. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 4, public input. This is the time and place for discussion items not already on the agenda with a time limit of 3 minutes each. Anyone?
I do have a question. Since we just mentioned Fred's Auto, now we're okay in a second go-around on that, but what happens after that with that building?
I don't know. I mean, I assume, it was my understanding that there was either half the stuff inside was sold at the first auction, or the majority of it, the rest of it is being done now, and possibly the building, but I'm not 100% sure.
They ran out of time. I was at the first auction. They had a whole other 2 other trailers as well as a few more items inside.
But the goal is to eliminate that building, or?
Well, I know that Lynn County is working with him on mitigating the issues that it currently has, so I can follow up on that if I.
I'm just curious.
She's got a lot of skylights right now, so yeah. It's sad, really, but yeah, this is, the auction is for the disposition of his
Is the
equipment
building being sold to though?
and supplies. I don't know if the building is part of it.
It's for sale, or has been, I think, sometime.
I'm sure it has been, but it can't be much interest unless the price is really right. But yeah, tonight was just approving the closure of the street for that event. All right, no other public input. We'll move on to 5A, update in reference to History Center repairs.
I believe Becky's on, and she'll give you an update in reference to that.
Becky, are you ready?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
No?
Okay.
We're still just doing the whole search for someone to remove more of the lead paint off the building. Everybody is so busy, I'm having a hard time finding contractors.
Time out.
Why are we?
We can't hear you.
Can't hear me? You just
Right.
sound really far away.
I heard you, but you were very faint. In summary, they're looking for a contractor to remove the rest of the lead paint, and they are having a hard time finding everybody because everybody is so busy right now.
Right, I put hours and hours, all over the state and in Illinois. But I'm still finding people, and I'm still calling and contacting, and that's about all we can do at this point. We're looking, I'm even looking to, to do it in the spring instead of this fall, just trying to find somebody that has the time.
Correct.
There's a lot of companies that used to do it, and they're not doing it now because it costs so much, and it's a very involved thing to get rid of the lead paint once they've taken it off, is what I'm running into. But we do have a grant to help with the brickwork and the repairs and so then Brandon and Christina and I and the contractor are meeting with the state office this Thursday. They're doing a Zoom meeting just to make sure they understand what we're doing, and we understand what the regulations are for what we're doing on it. So we do that as part of the grant that we got from the state.
Okay. So it's still a work in progress, you're gonna continue?
Yes, no, I'm not giving up.
Okay, appreciate that.
No, though about once a week, I do feel like giving up and just going out and doing it myself. But I know I can't.
And the History Center is back on regular hours now? Correct?
I haven't talked to them for a while, they are?
I think so. Like, they were open today.
Oh, good. That's encouraging.
Well, there's no reason that they couldn't be, is there?
No, there's nothing wrong with inside or anything like that.
Becky,
Yes.
the guy that was replacing the gutters went up there this
Uh-huh.
week. He got the one downspout off and realized that the way that's fastened into the roof is not correct. So the next time you guys have a contractor up there, I think we probably ought to get that addressed so we can get that problem fixed. So,
Is it a roof problem or a
yes,
roof problem?
it's a roof problem.
Okay, because, yeah, we haven't had any roof guys, because the guy that said it was in okay shape, and that's what the other people looked at it said. Do we have a roofer that's gonna come fix the back part of the History Center, the addition? Ever get that repaired after the windstorm?
We have somebody that said they were gonna come look at it, but we haven't been able
So
to.
you're running into the same problem I am.
So I know, yeah, I just know you guys have been waiting on us to get these gutters done, and when he went up there, it was way more labor intensive and a little bit out of his comfort zone to tear that off from the way it's actually fastened to the building, if that makes sense.
So did he leave that on there so it's still all draining right?
He took, and he's got the one draining right, and then we gotta keep an eye on the other side to see how that is. We didn't wanna waste the money to throw another downspout on there if it wasn't even draining anyways, that way, so. So it's partially done, but not correctly.
Yeah, so we just need to find a roofer now, huh?
Yep,
Great.
so.
So you're on the search for a roofer. She's still looking for a lead paint abatement company.
Right.
And you have a meeting with the state on Thursday to ensure that we're compliant with the grant.
Right. Right.
All right.
Do we have to take care of the lead paint issue before doing any tuck pointing?
Yeah, because that would take grinding and such like that. I'm gonna clear that up to make sure, but I'm assuming that yes, because they don't wanna be releasing dust into the air and gas. And they would be grinding out a lot, not a lot, but some of the tuck pointing to replace it. And so that's why I'm trying like crazy to get someone to get the rest of the paint off.
Okay. Anything further to report on this?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Then we'll move on to 5B. Discussion of possible action in reference to Downtown Reinvestment Funds.
So this is the city grant that we've been working and discussing for a period of time. I met with Becky and Ann in reference to this. We did some changes and wanted to kind of present it to you. You should have a copy of this in front of you. Other than just updating some outdated information and some terminology, the only main points of focus would be the funding. We've increased that to $10,000 for a maximum and up to 60% for a project exterior, and then $5,000 and 50% for interior. We talked last time how the price of construction is higher now and how that money before may not have been enough to do much. So it's not raising the funding that we've budgeted, it's just raising the amount of grant money we would have to award to an individual. So, and then the other big thing we did was, previously the applications had to be in by April 1st for the next July fiscal year. We're gonna keep this open year round and just know that we put in here, if you go to the next page on the back, how the funds will be available revolving beginning July 1 the following year.
Okay.
There was one individual that reached out after the deadline or saw the application, that there was a deadline, and then went about and doing the work themselves. So we want to try to catch these people that, you know, there's really no reason, if you don't have anybody applying, there's no real reason. So those are the main things, and I just kind of wanted to put this in front of you tonight. Becky, do you have anything to add?
I was gonna say that in that wording that we had about that, you know, about being a constant through the year, that we should add in there that until funds are, you know, used up for this year or something like that.
Okay.
And then I guess, Ann and I are working on, there's a 3 or 4 pages of examples to try to help guide people as to what we're looking for kind of funds, possibilities and such, and we're reworking that. It has disappeared over the years from the packet, and so we're gonna rework that and put it back in with the packet for anyone to talk to this.
Good, maybe that'll help, you know, people take advantage of this program. So we generally have money left over in this program every year, so.
Seems to, the last couple of years we've had it. I mean, we've had some people take advantage of it, but now we've kind of hit this wall here.
Right, no one wants to invest or
Right.
knows how to invest or whatever it is.
Yeah, and part of it is because construction is so busy and so much more expensive now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, do we need to take any action on
I think it'd be good just to, since it's upping the money that's given out.
it? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the Downtown Reinvestment Program description
Application, whatever. I approve.
as shown here?
I motion.
Motion, have a second? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. 5C, discussion of possible action in reference to Cemetery GIS Contract.
So you'll see the contract in here. This was approved last budget year. And then you also see the letter from St. John's. Nothing in here, this is with Bolton and Mink, nothing in here is different from what was approved before. The only addition would be, you have the 2 exhibits, 1 and 1A, and that would be the pin placement on GPS within our system. It's something we did not budget for, but it's something that we could probably do as an addition once we do a budget amendment, if we wanted to use lost money, because if you recall, that's what we spent for this project. So I think I would recommend going with Exhibit 1, and then we can hold off on 1A until we do our budget amendment, if you guys so choose. Marcia is here tonight. She's been assisting with this and been the main point of contact with them, and she's getting all our documentation to them. And then also Travis can explain to you the importance of GPSing the pins.
Is this gonna save us time then?
Yeah, I mean, I sure hope so. I mean, it used to be once every 6 months, we'd go out there and we'd find something that was a little off. And now it's more of once a month or once a week even. So, I think this is pretty crucial. We're also, I mean, we got limited space. So the less mistakes we have, and the best way to fix them is gonna be beneficial for everybody, so.
Doesn't GPS replace the need for pins? Or you're just GPS the location of the pin,
They're gonna GPS the location of the pins.
of the existing pin?
And then yes.
Okay.
And then
What
with,
did they, excuse me, go ahead.
okay, and then with our GPS unit then, that we are going down for training for, we will be able to go out there and hit that mark and know 40 inches from this pin here is the start of space 2. Or 120 inches or whatever it is, so that'll give us, so we're not sitting there trying to find and locate all these 6 or 8 other pins to make sure our measurements are.
What did they say that it accuracy of the pin was, did they tell you?
They didn't tell me on the pins, but it will be, with his machine, it's gonna be,
It's
pretty spot on.
yeah,
It's
it's gonna be,
I think it's within a fraction.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It'd make a tremendous difference.
I agree.
So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in here, I think exhibit one, from the way I understand it, would be the existing cemetery and what's there, currently there. And then the 1A would be the pins for the open ones as well.
The 19 is the one with the pins.
So I'm back.
So exhibit 1 is the one that would
Yeah.
include the pins.
One-
Exhibit
1A.
1A takes the pin part of it out that wasn't approved prior.
So you're looking at $4,500 roughly?
That's the difference, that's the cost of the pin, basically.
No, I mean, I think it's, in my opinion, a no-brainer, but I just want to, if that's something we want, just kind of added at the end. We'll just need to do a budget amendment. There's plenty of money lost, and I think it's a good,
It sounds like a perpetual time saver, you know.
No, absolutely.
Well, if there's no other objections, I would make a motion that we approve it.
We have a motion to approve exhibit 1.
I second.
yeah.
The one with the pin placement?
With the pin placement.
Yep, we have a motion to approve exhibit 1. I have a second. We'll do a roll call for this. Sarah?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Nathan? Aye. All right. Anything else you need on that subject?
Nothing other than, you probably saw in the packet, but St. John's is on board with this for their portion too, so. And I believe Marcia's worked it out with them, that we're gonna house the information here.
They would just assume it, because their person that was doing their records just retired. So they're going to send their information over to me. I now have a copy of their section of the cemetery, as far as the plot, the lots and the plot, you know, all that. So they feel more comfortable sending the information over here and letting me enter it into the system, instead of having, we'd have to have two, what do they call it?
They have two databases.
Yeah, we'd have to have two.
Two admins, two
Yeah, we have to have two,
databases, yeah.
paying two admins, and they just don't.
Yeah.
They're willing to go their share on the initial, and they're willing to pay their share on the annual upkeep cost, so.
My next question is, are they financially responsible?
Yes,
They are,
yes,
so,
that's,
okay,
yep.
very nice.
Do they actually own that land? I've always wondered that. The Catholic.
I think they do.
Is it-
I don't know for sure.
I don't know.
I think so. Whenever I've dealt with
They
them,
do, they got
the
some.
tree board, they always seem to,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if they own that, then, we're gonna have to contact them about those trees.
Yeah, when we talked about this, I just told Marcia, I think for just simplicity's sake and consistency throughout, it makes the most sense to have us do it, and we reached out to them, got the financial blessing on their end, so.
yeah, I mean, we're partners in this, so.
Yeah,
it Makes
yeah.
perfect sense.
Well, it's nice because, like I told Steve McElmeal, we have people walk in all the time asking for somebody, and if they're in St. John's section, we have to send them to
Yeah.
Steve, and
Why would you send them away?
so this way, we have a copy of the map, we'll have, I've already got all the names entered into, it's one database now, it's not two separate ones, it's all combined, so.
All right.
That's awesome. Thank you for working on all that.
Thank you. And we'll move on. 5D, discussion and possible action in reference to payment to YTT Design for $14,255.98. Are they on or?
They are not.
Okay.
I went through all of this, and there is nothing to me that looks out of line. They've been here a lot. I've been meeting with them about 3 days a week and talking to them many more times than that. So nothing I saw in here was out of line and inconsistent with anything that they presented initially.
just for public confirmation, or what are we spending money for?
Just all that's.
Engineering work.
They're engineering, all the
No, I was
engineering
just
stuff.
gonna have you out.
Sorry, yeah, so the design, the making sure that they're in compliance, the DNR permits, any meetings we have here, construction permits,
Permitting,
um,
water
They did,
supply, wastewater.
proof rolling, erosion control, just clearing trees, just everything through the whole process, awarding bid.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the payment to YTT Design. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. John?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Nathan, aye. All right. Moving on to 5E, discussion of possible action in reference to payment to Dave Schmidt Construction Company, Inc. for $666,912.68.
So this will be the second payment, and this is obviously the largest one, thankfully. But you'll see on the front page here, kind of where we're sitting and how much money is left to go. You'll see the email from Lisa, who's our engineer at YTT. She validated all the amounts, made sure that everything was true and correct. And this is for storm sewer, water main, sewer, and concrete. So basically, the next one we'll have left would be seating, driveways, sidewalk.
Okay.
I can see why this one is a good one. All the,
Yeah, this is the,
I make a motion to pay Dave Schmitz at $666,912.68.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Sarah?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
We're one step closer though,
We are.
right?
Exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm excited.
Alrighty, 5F, discussion of possible action in reference to partial payment request to Blinks Brothers for materials on Second Barn for $15,000.
so I had, on Friday, Kurt reached out to me. He was been over there, and I've seen several times, went over and talked to him. He's doing all the work in the lean-to. He replaced several of the 2x4s. Then he put the steel on. He also jacked up the sidewall, replaced a couple posts, a couple that were rotten. Basically, this is mainly for supplies, for materials. I did talk to him. He said we're still on pace for the whole entire project, so he wants $15,000 of the $42,500 that's been approved, and again, this is mainly for materials. The only roofing that he's still waiting for steel is on the main roof. There's, 8 to 10 feet there that you can see still, the boards. But he's waiting for the shipment to come.
It's the same kind of steel, so
Yep.
it's got to
Correct.
wait for
It's
it.
coming from South Dakota, I think. They're just waiting to get enough supplies to get a truck here, so.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any questions or anything, but he's been over there quite a bit, and I've been there talking to him, and he's making headway there anyway.
I make a motion.
I also reached out to Becky and Ann, just to make sure they were good with this as well.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the payment to Blinks Brothers for $15,000 from Mike. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. 5G, discussion of possible action in reference to Stryker medical quote for Lucas chest compression system.
So the reason this is on here is kind of twofold. As you recall from last time, we got the grant from the St. Luke's Foundation for $5,000. So that's going to come to the city, we'll go into the budget, we'll do a budget amendment, that'll need to be spent. You'll see the total amount is $16,627.83. Through the pancake breakfast, I wasn't quite sure of the final numbers. I do have them now, however. We had told the public that we're buying part of the Lucas device as well as a sonar unit for the boat. So I don't know the cost of the sonar unit, but as you can see in the packet in my notes, the cost of the Lucas device has gone up across the board of 9% on October 1st. So we have money, medical fund, equipment fund money in our budget for up to $2,500. We're gonna get this grant from St. Luke's for $5,000. So I would ask council to approve up to $7,500 of budgeted money towards this Lucas device. And the fire association will be covering the rest. They could be covering anything over $5,000, but we're just trying to make sure that we have enough to purchase a sonar as well.
And you're trying to beat the 9%.
And I'm trying
price.
to, yeah, the main thing is that this would be a lot clearer and simpler if we weren't kind of in a time crunch here, so.
Since some of the public watches this, would you just give just a brief synopsis of what the unit does?
Yeah, so this is basically a simulated or automated CPR machine. So it's got kind of a suction cup for a chest compression unit. You put a board underneath the patient. This goes over top of the patient and clips in. And then basically you just set the plunger to where it needs to be on the chest and hit a button. And this does like appropriate, correct depth, everything, CPR, and it's hands off. You just hit the button and it goes. So there's never a worry about someone doing like a wrong CPR in the wrong place or the wrong depth, which all that's important. I don't know, Doug, you're in the ambulance board, do you have anything further? I know the ambulance has one, but a lot of times we're there before they are. And these pieces will interchange, so.
Yeah, they're critical pieces of equipment. I mean, it's obviously it's better for patient outcomes if we can get that on and get that going. If you do it manually, every 2 minutes at most, you're switching out responders, and so when you have a full code going, you're stumbling over each other, and there's lines of people waiting to go through, gassing everybody out from that standpoint. So they're great devices to have.
I'm assuming this is battery operated. How long will it run?
I mean,
Quite a while. I mean,
That's a very good point. That's why I
they're
asked.
lithium, but on the same token, it's a matter of, you know, especially for the fire and first responder aspect, you're gonna have it on to a certain degree. The ambulance has them as well, so they've got, you know, they can if there's a failure on one or a battery, those are hot swaps. You can get going quickly. Yeah.
You'll see as a part of this quote, there is a second battery.
Also makes it easier for the paramedics and everybody during transport to the hospital, because a paramedic can be doing something else rather than worrying about chest compressions.
Sure.
They can be doing things on the way to the hospital.
On the subject of battery, is this the same brand, unit, interchangeable battery as the ambulance has?
Yes.
Okay. And we've never owned one of these before.
I know you asked about last time, but no.
Yeah, I swear this
This
was in
is
a
a-
budget item
that was
about
a-
6 or 8 years ago.
Cardiac monitor. Yeah.
I think there were talks about it, but we purchased a cardiac monitor about 4 years
Yes,
ago.
the cardiac monitor.
That did, you can hook up defibrillator pads to that, but never had a Lucas.
I can swear it was never like right there. Might have dreamt it, I don't know, so, all right. Okay, so
I
you
make
need
a
budget-
motion.
Yeah, you need a budget amendment for this, or?
Well, I would just like
Or just
to.
approval from the
Approval up to 7,500 of budgeted funds from the fire department.
Okay, that's your
I
motion?
make a motion to approve up to 7,500 in budgeted funds for
Thank you.
the Lucas.
I will second. We'll roll call this one. Sarah?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Item 6A, public hearing for ordinance update to chapter 26, the tree board. This is the increase of, or just change of the verbiage regarding the increased number of members.
Yep, you just added the nature
Sorry,
part.
we need to go into public hearing first.
Apologize for that.
Motion to go into public hearing.
I have a motion to go into public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, now you can talk about it.
All right, so.
She's a stickler.
Gotta be.
Get the whip out.
Nathan will come down on us if we don't.
That was cooler.
All right, so this is primarily to increase the membership and add the nature park.
Yep, and then you'll see I did put the, basically similar language about the trees I did add for the responsibility under the nature park. So other than that, assuming you can see it's in red on there. The red would be the changes.
Yep. Is there any other questions? Go ahead.
Is tree board anxious to get this passed all tonight? Or are we needing anything?
I know that they have members that they want to put on. But yeah, I don't, the thing with this, like, I don't know that anything's gonna change with something, it's not not a contentious subject or anything like that, so.
Are you asking in case we wanted to do the third reading suspension?
Yeah.
I don't think we can do that
I don't
tonight.
think-
We can, it's on the agenda.
Do we have that?
Yeah, it's a nice
I
one.
thought he was working on a grant, that's why he kind of wanted it a little,
They wanted a little help for just more people,
yeah.
so.
And that's why we placed it on there, just in case.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve.
We gotta go out of public hearing first.
Make a motion to come out of public hearing.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to come out of public
I
hearing.
won't vote against it.
Show us. All right, come
Now
out of
you can
public
go
hearing.
ahead.
All those signify by saying aye.
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 Now go ahead.
Okay. You want to make a motion?
Well,
No, he's very,
Yeah, no, I'm bad.
upset.
I make a motion that we pass first reading of this. Is that what we have to do?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So I have a motion for the first reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Sarah?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Nate? Aye. Possible suspension of rules, placing ordinance on third and final reading.
I move to suspend the rules and move to the third and final reading.
All right, we have a motion.
I
will-
second.
I will, okay, Sarah will
I can
second.
I can second.
You
Third,
can.
fourth, and fifth.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call that as well. Sarah?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we are
Now third and final reading.
third and final reading, so we've suspended the rules. Okay, now, do I have a motion to approve the third reading of ordinance 05-2022, update to chapter 26 tree board?
So moved.
I have a motion,
Second.
and I have a second. Sarah?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll get it all cleaned up and ready to go tomorrow.
Sorry if you made this. All right, 6C, resolution 23-2022, approving TIF rebate transfers.
Christine, you want this?
Yeah, this one is for Brothers Market. They have paid their property taxes and shown proof, so we can give them, well, they've paid their first half of the year. So we can give them their first half of the year rebate.
All right.
How many more years do we have of brother?
This is it.
Ah!
So June is our last TIF rebate to them.
Can we have a party?
But we just started budget one.
Oh,
So
They cater it.
we got 10 years of them, so.
All right.
All right, so that's an amount of $11,204. I'll make a motion to approve the TIF rebate. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion is second. Sarah?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Nathan, aye. Okay. Item 7, correspondences.
I don't have anything. I did receive a couple responses from the neighbors on the timeliness and impression, or how impressed they are with the work that Dave Schmidt's done back behind on the complex. So I just wanted to pass that on.
Nice.
Those are comments from the residents?
Yeah, there were some on Washington Street that were pretty impressed with just the overall work, the speed
I
they're
think
going.
I mean,
Looks
obviously it's an inconvenience to some of those people, and I thank them for their patience, but he's done a pretty good job to keep them open, I
The
know.
weather has been decent the last few
They're-
weeks that they've been able to
They're
move
about
right
2
along
weeks,
for sure.
at least 2 weeks ahead.
I was shocked when I saw Third Avenue, like, it's like done.
Looks great.
I mean, it looks fantastic.
We were really well coordinated with the cement haulers. We sat downtown every 45 minutes, another truck rolled in.
Wow.
And They're there early in the morning too. Those workers are there early, because I go by and I'm thinking, wow, sure.
All right, very nice. If that's it, we'll move on to item 8, reports. City engineers report. I see Dave's on. Dave, you ready for us?
We continue to work on the water system projects, well, and the water mains. We've been looking at trying to get some additional survey. We were asked to take a look at the intersections on Washington Street at Main and also at Market for AGA. And we should be up there this week with a scanner in front of City Hall. I understand there was some concern with an area there that we'll do a detailed survey on and get some improvements planned to take care of that issue as well.
Talking about the concrete out front.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions for Dave?
I don't know.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Item 8B, Public Works Director report.
To pile on to what Dave said, we've got a list of water services that they want located for this project, so we've been going like crazy trying to get all them for them. On top of that, we got to verify certain pipe sizes in the ground, so we'll be pothole. I think 26 spots we got to do, so that's gonna hopefully save us in the long run as far as making sure we have the right pipe here when we order it. Every stump that we have ground to this point has been seeded and black dirt back. We still have more stumps to go. We're trying to squeeze those in between everything else that's been piling on us lately. We've got rock on the bad spots for a majority of Highway 30 to where you see the edge of the asphalt starting to slough off, so we added rock there to try to shore that up. We didn't do the whole thing because obviously all that's gonna get tore out, so it seemed like a waste of money and time to put rock on something that's gonna get tore out. The paint, Christina got an email, should be shipped, it should be at the county shed
Tomorrow?
for street, so
Whoa.
we're gonna start pestering them, trying to get that and get started on that as soon as we can.
So just before winter, we get to paint
Spring.
Yes.
Just for the salt to take it right off.
And
Just
then-
giving you a hard time.
No, that's all right. We've been trying to get the tile line from the well to from the well on site at Myers Farm to the pond, that fill well. We've been trying to get that patched, and with construction and the depth of that line, a lot of the spots have been crushed, so we can't get it to flow. We do have a boring contractor coming out this week to bore a line in for us so we can get it the depth we need without, we were looking at trying to dig it and we were gonna dig it in, but it would have ended up taking the chance of damaging a majority of those trees on the top of that hill. And Brandon and I talked and thought it was best to have him come in, line bore that, yep, be less evasive to everything. So hopefully by this weekend, we can start getting the level of that pond back up.
I noticed it was not here. Si took all the trees down over there.
Yes.
It's gotta be a pretty big bill coming.
Yes.
It's cheaper than what we originally planned because between Si, Brandon, and myself, we've got Windstream, right? Not MediaCom. We thought it was MediaCom, but it was actually Windstream. They came in and dropped that, so we didn't have to hire the crane.
Oh, sweet, okay.
So he did spend a little extra time on an ash tree a block up that he wanted the crane for, which if we were gonna bring it in for those trees, it made sense. So all in all, it ended up saving us anywhere from 6 to 8. He said he'll let me know the exact number when, so yeah, it's gonna be a big bill, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Probably next meeting or next month or?
Yeah,
Are we reaching the end of that now?
yeah, the ash trees that are around are leaking out. So we're not gonna do anything until we see significant damage to those, like these other ones. There's a few in the cemetery that still need to come down. We're hoping we can get that mid to early winter. The ground's hard, we don't have to worry about, disturbing any of that when we drop those. And then he's waiting, probably be about that time too, when we take the other ones down in the cemetery, that he does need a crane for.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Travis? All right,
Thank you, Travis.
we're on to 8C, Parks and Rec Director Report.
Hello. Fall soccer and flag football are in full swing. Practices, we start games tomorrow for our pre-K, K, kindergarten, first and second, third graders. Fourth, fifth, sixth, first games are Thursday, and then we'll start flag football games on Saturday. Everything's been going great so far. I think that's really all I have tonight.
All right, thank you.
How many kids do you have signed up for?
We are right around 200, I believe, won't we, Marcia?
That's 200 for flag football and soccer combined.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Good job.
it's a good turnout.
I heard Travis is coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Drake. 8D, Police Department Report. You had something in the packet?
Had the report in the packet and reported last time on sauerkraut days, what a great job the committee did on that. Just want to let the public know, you'll probably hear some rumbling, but tonight we are doing joint training over at the police department. There is no emergency, but there are a lot of fire trucks, ambulance, police cars, and helicopters. So we're doing joint lifeguard training, everybody's okay. I hope it stays that way, but that's what all the hubbub is over there, so.
Okay. Thank you, Doug.
Yep.
8E, Ambulance Director Report.
I don't have anything for him tonight.
He's busy.
He's in training.
He's in the helicopter.
While we're kind of got over by the police.
Sure.
I got involved briefly in one this weekend. There is no open burning in Lisbon. No matter what the excuse, as far as I'm aware
Just
of.
Recreational fires.
Recreational.
Yeah, but not leaf burning,
Right.
and that, and, so I got involved with one of your officers, to help out another person,
Sure.
but, so be aware of that, to come and vacuum it up for you, so.
Yeah, bring it to the curb. Get after it.
Anytime. Any day. Right, Sarah? Okay.
I have some of my archive. Thanks.
They would take your kids if they're willing.
It's nice of Sarah to volunteer to do that every other Travis doesn't do it, so, okay. All right, moving on to 8F, Fire Chief, City Administrator Report.
Just fire department related again, a very successful pancake breakfast. Thank you to everybody that came out. I've heard of numbers, back in the day of 1,200-1,300 people that have come through. Usually we're 1,000 to 1,100 depending on weather. We were well over 1,300 people for this one. So as long as I've been on, 20-some years, it's a record from that long ago anyway. And we raised over nearly $1,300 or $13,000. So, and again, that's going to be used for the Lucas device and the sonar unit for the boat. So thanks again to everybody. I know the line was down to Hills Bank for quite a while.
It was actually to Quinn's that one.
Yeah,
It was still there at 11:30.
Yeah, we were very close to running out of food, so that's a good problem to have. All right, for city administrator, just an update again on the sports complex. Right now, they're doing the driveways on 3rd Avenue. They're also doing some on Walnut Street. With that on Walnut Street, we have, if you recall, when we did the chip seal, we left Walnut Street out knowing the trucks were gonna go in and out of there. We said we'd do it after that. Probably next meeting, we'll have a bid from the contractor out there getting their pricing that they're doing, because they're doing the chip seal for the parking lots. So since they're here, they're gonna give us the same price per unit that they did for there to do Walnut Street. So we'll have that here next time. But in the meantime, I went ahead and approved, it was under my threshold, there's where the asphalt meets the concrete down there, there's some, just from the trucks gone over it and just, I mean, there was cracks in it before, but there's a blowout, so we're gonna replace, because they're gonna put the driveway in and then there's gonna be this bad concrete and then good stuff, so we're gonna replace the broken stuff down there. They're gonna be doing that here in the next week, and then, at the next council meeting, I'll have the bid in for the quote for that chip seal, and that'll go from essentially the driveway to Myers Meadow all the way up to Market Street. And then they promised that they won't have any more trucks on that road when it's done, so they'll be using the road itself for other means, so. That'll be coming next time. I know last time we talked about sauerkraut days of softball and the alcohol and all that. I did talk to sauerkraut days committee, they want to be a part of that meeting, so whenever they're available, we'll put this back on the agenda. I don't think it's anything pressing right now. But again, the plan is kind of, Drayton's going to talk to his committee as well to see what the costs are and if we can have Park and Rec possibly do the selling of alcohol, since hopefully in time they'll have that license for other events that are going to go on out the sports complex. So that'll be coming in a future meeting. Had Jordan's Lawn Care okayed their quote to me to mow the retention pond again. We don't have really any equipment that should go down into that. They do, so they're going to take care of doing that. And then I've also contacted the local farmer who did the mowing of Highway 30 last year. So he's going to be doing that again in September. So that way it'll be kind of towards the end of the growing season.
Is that the right equipment to maintain that retention pond?
What's that?
The attachment or whatever the heck he used to mow and knock down all the chaff that was along 30?
Well, that's two different things. The retention pond, he can't go down in that. That's going to be
He
for
can't?
Jordan's, no.
Okay.
Jordan's has a machine to go down in there. He gets kind of down into the hills more than,
What does he use for the
It
dishes?
just
A
seemed
whirling
like,
mower?
seemed like what he did on 30, it would be the perfect tool for doing.
yeah, the problem is the retention pond's too steep for that tractor and
Okay.
what he has. So that'll be coming here in the next, probably before the next meeting. And then, just so everyone knows, the tree planting, I think the overall goal is to replace a tree where one was taken out either through the ash borer or for ratio. The north end of town, the old part of town, just know we're not gonna put any trees out there if the water main's coming through your area, just because we don't wanna have to move it or damage the tree later, but when that goes on. So just be patient on the north end of town. And we did apply for that community forestry grant. That was submitted a week or so ago. So hopefully we'll get some tree money there, and then we also have the 10,000 from Channel Seed. So just be patient, and we'll get those put back. And it's been a long process, but it's nice to see that the ash borers that needed to come down, or the ash trees that needed to come down, and the derecho trees are all down for the most part. So I could finally cross that off the list.
That's amazing. All right,
And that's all I got.
great. Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon.
Aren't you usually on this agenda?
No, Doug usually throws it in after him. So
Okay.
I'm good.
Do you have anything to report? Okay.
Are you sure?
Yep. I'm on point. I'm good.
You were quick to tell us what to do earlier. No.
I think we've heard enough out of her. All right, we'll move on to 8G, council and mayor reports. Sarah, do you have a report?
I really don't have anything. I guess just thanks to all the city workers for all they're doing. There's a lot of work in on their plates, so that's all I have.
Okay. John?
The Dolly Parton Imagination Library, we've got 110 kids that are under 5
Wow.
participated. Now, some of them have graduated out of the program. I think I mentioned before at Sauerkraut Days at the Ice Cream Social, we signed up 12. And so if you know of any kids in the Lisbon zip code that are under 5, they get a free book every month. Just go out to the library and sign up for it.
I do like that Dolly is everywhere over the city. She's placed everywhere. A little bit here, a little bit there. It's kind of fun to watch.
You should have
Dolly.
seen me.
She's on tour again, guys. She's on tour.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Mike, you got anything?
No, thank you.
All right. I don't have anything other than just the same, reiterate what Sarah said. Thanks for everything that our city employees and everyone does. But yeah, nothing else other than that. All right, if no other business, any other business? Yeah.
One thing.
Okay.
I forgot.
Time's up.
I know. I normally don't have a list this long. The pool, I couldn't read my writing is what it was.
So give me the time to go back and read?
Yeah, I could. So I told you guys that we were gonna paint the pool in the fall, in the spring, because we're gonna get the weather to cooperate. We did find some repairs that we need to take care of first. So talking to Brandon, we're gonna push the painting off until the spring. I wanna see what the winter does with the freeze and thaw on the concrete cracking that we have. It's an ongoing problem. We think we've got a majority of it fixed, but I don't wanna spend the money to paint it and then have to take and scrape it off.
And no use painting it over
Right.
full anyways.
Yep.
Wait until a new.
So we might, if we run
Are there
into,
measures you can do now?
yeah, I mean, there's caulking and stuff we're gonna do now, but, we wanna make sure that it's gonna hold through the winter before we throw the paint on it. Paint's not really the cheapest stuff. And, if we don't get the weather that we need, just know that we'll be upfront with the public and let them know that it might not open on the holiday. It might be a few days after in the spring, but normally the weather is not that big of a deal for us.
Might get a lucky window there in
Yeah.
the middle of May.
Might want to want solar big here, no.